dogs and cats living together, massive carrion.
An old friend of mine, John, from the gaming cafe One Life Left in Norwich, recently went into the history books for completing Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System in 22 minutes and 2 seconds, making him one of the top 20 fastest players in the world. John often hosts gaming streams on Twitch for his cafe, and sometimes I get involved. And on one stream he mentioned that someone should try and beat his time for completing the game. So John, old buddy, I'm going to give it a shot. Played a lot of Sonic on the Master System growing up. My sister wanted her own console, mainly because I was always on the SNES and she never got a look in, and she had a choice between a Master System or a Mega Drive. She chose the Master System. At the time I was pretty pissed, but thinking about it now, all my friends had Mega Drives, so the fact that my sister chose something different meant I got to play several games I otherwise would have missed, such as Alex Kidd, the Castle of Illusion games. There's some very unique Sonic games on there. So thanks sis, it was a good idea after all. Well done. Sonic on the Master System was a lot different to Sonic on the Mega Drive. The Master System was not as graphically powerful as the Mega Drive, so the game was a lot slower. I was used to playing it a certain way. Then I watched John's speedrun, and that showed me a very different way to play the game. How to play it fast. It's going to be tough to untrain how I normally play this game and beat John's time. And I've only got 2 weeks because RoboCop is coming out for Mortal Kombat 11, and after that there's Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered for the Switch, so when they come out, that's all I'll be playing. So it's now or never. Win, lose or draw, 22 minutes and 2 seconds. Let's see how I did as I talk you through my personal best time for Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System.
Right guys, complete Sonic Master System in the fastest time possible, any percent speed run, which means you don't need to collect all the emeralds or continues, just get through the game any means necessary as fast as you possibly can. As I go through this game, I've also got to avoid collecting rings. If I finish a stage with 50 rings, I'll go to a bonus stage and lose a whole lot of time. Here's the first exploit of the game. So what happens there is I roll down that hill so fast that I launch Sonic to the far right of the screen, and now the game can't keep up. When I get to the final pit of spikes, I just start tapping left with Sonic, so when the game finally catches up with me, Sonic's already standing on the signpost and it finishes the level very quickly. I try not to hit the signpost at full speed because it sends them into the air, and it takes longer to end the stage, only by a few seconds, but all those seconds add up every level, and you save some time by just clipping it like I did there. I learnt this from John's run. If you roll underneath the water like that, you actually gain speed, and I use that quite a lot in the labyrinth level later on, which you'll see. So yeah, thanks John, that's a good tip. And there's actually a glitch here as well. I've got to be careful. If you, like in the first level, you saw that I flew off past the stage. If I do it on this level, the game actually gets locked, and you have to reset the game and your run's over. So you have to pull back and slow down on that bit. Okay, first boss. You have to kind of wait for this boss, unfortunately, because you can't actually hit him while he's flying over your head for the first couple of passes anyway. So please stand by. Yeah, come on, Robotnik. Yeah, Sonic's not happy about it either. So when he comes down, you can hit him 7 times before he flies away. I would roll on the last one because whenever I jump I either miss him or get hit. Now when he comes back here, as he swoops down, you can actually hit him, but unfortunately on this one I didn't manage to, which is a shame because I'm normally quite good at it. but I just tap him here and finish him off, which is not a bad. There's not too much I could do to speed up my Green Hill run side of things as far as I'm concerned, so I'm pretty happy with the first 3 levels. Bridge Zone Act 1 up next, one of the quicker levels, one of my favourites. It's about jumping at the last moment and avoiding loads of little jumps to keep your momentum going. So I start off by clicking some rings and ducking nice and early so that enemy doesn't hit me. And then you see I jump at the last moment to hit bad guys to keep my momentum going. You can actually hit that box and you can get faster on that part. But yeah, if you just clip the edges of the ledges and that just keeps you going forward at this pace. Nice duck there to get some momentum off the bridge. Now I don't time this right, I jump too early, but you can hit that bad guy and again get more speed. Keep running over these bridges so they don't really bother Sonic too much. Just fall onto the platform after the green hill and then roll across those bridges. As you can see, I just clip straight into those levels. Nice fun one, that one. I enjoyed when I could do that one quick. It took some practice, but that's a nice fun level, that one. There's actually a glitch on that level as well, where if you do it too quickly, I think, one of the bridges you run along acts like a spring and just launches into the air. It's really weird. Bridge Zone Act 2, it's a side-scrolling level, which means I can't move any faster than what the slow-moving screen allows me, which gives me a chance to talk about Sonic's other big challenge when speedrunning, which is its frame rate. So as you may have seen there, if you look carefully, once I got hit by that bad guy, the game kind of sped up just a little bit. That's because when there's too much on screen on this game, the game slows down and starts chugging along, which wouldn't be so bad, except for sometimes it just doesn't register your inputs on the controller. So when you're going for crucial jumps, Sonic will just go, peace out, no, I'd rather die, and he'll dive right into a bottomless pit and die instantly, you know, completely destroying your speedrun. So sometimes you're just at the mercy of the game where you're just begging it to respond to what you're pressing as you're hammering a jump button, and Sonic's just not responding. And the game's chugging along. You can see it later on the level when I run across a bridge and all the pieces fall down. It really slows down, and that can happen on any level. It just takes practice to sort of learn when that's going to happen. I mean, even this level is a bit of a challenge when you're trying to do a speed run, because every other level you have a certain amount of control on how quickly you do the level. Whereas this level, because it's so slow, it just kills all your momentum. It almost puts you to sleep, which you do not need with the next levels that are coming up. Oh, for anyone who's worried, I collect rings in this level to give me something to do. When you get 100, your ring counter resets to 0, so you don't go to the bonus stage. And maybe that's evidence enough. It's not so much when you die on the later levels that it's hard and frustrating, and that's what puts you off coming back to trying another speedrun. It's the thought that you have to go through this level and you're forced to sit through the whole thing, and it can really test your patience as you just want the level to end and get to the bit that you need to practice on, but you just can't make this go any faster. When you do die in the later levels and it was all gone wrong, you kind of go, no, I can't sit through that. It'll be too frustrating, and you just switch it off and try it another day. And Sonic doesn't have a level select, so you can't bypass it, you always have to play that stage. Second boss, quite easy this one. If you hold the jump button you get extra height, and you can hit him 4 times on each side. I didn't get it on this run, but if you happen to get a lucky bit where he turns up on the right hand side, this screen does go by a little quicker and Sonic can get to the capsule faster. I did think it's where you stood, it determines on what side he pops us out of the water, but I haven't proven that. I don't think that's the case. Maybe there's a trick to it to control which side he comes out, but I don't know. Jungle Zone. What a pain in the arse this is. The slowdown in the game really starts affecting you here as there's so much on screen. And you can hammer that button as much as you want, but sometimes Sonic just will not respond. So a lot of lives were lost learning how to do this stage. So I always make sure I hit the checkpoints because of reasons like that. I promise you, I was hammering that jump button and nothing happened. But just the slowdown just wouldn't pick up my button presses. But because you hit a checkpoint, you can get back into the action quite quickly. John actually died on his speed run, so I am allowed 1 mistake, but thankfully because I hit that checkpoint, I didn't really lose that much time, so I'm still allowed at least 1 mistake. There's a lot of blind jumps in this level where you can't see where you're going to land. especially this one. But what I do is I look for that log that's falling down the waterfall and use that as a guide to let me know when I can come down. And that's the real problem with this level. You're fighting the frame rate. There's loads of blind jumps. It's just a lot of trial and error to learn how to do quickly. And you're fighting the slowdown, you're fighting the blind jumps, and you just pray that the level's going to be nice to you, and you just get through with as little trouble as possible. Sometimes taking too many risks on that level just doesn't pay off. Act 2 is a little bit different. You're going up the stage, but the level only scrolls up once you touch something towards the top of the stage. And if you fall down, you die instantly. Yay! But the real problem with this level is you can't go too fast because the Sonic doesn't interact with the things that haven't quite sort of loaded on the screen yet. So you might jump into a spike or try and jump on a platform that hasn't loaded, so you'll just fall right through it. So you're trying to do it quickly, but you've got to hold back, because if you go too fast, you will die. So yeah, these two jungle levels, they need a lot of practice to get right, and hopefully now you can see why the bridge level is so frustrating, because you die on here, you just want to get straight back into the action and practice on this level again. And you can't, so you just have to wait for that bridge level to get by. This is quite cool. If you take your time there and just time your jumps just perfectly, the logs will spawn at the right time to allow you to, always on the left hand side of the waterfall. So that allows you to get over to those jumping platforms earlier than what you should do. But do it too quickly again and you will fall through the stage. Or the log will be too far to the right, so you will miss it. So be careful of that. Boss number 3. Sometimes just getting to this boss is a pain because Sonic just refuses to jump up through these platforms. But basically, Dr. Robotnik goes left and right, dropping these cannonballs down, and any touch on the cannonballs will kill you, as well as the puffs of smoke. You can only really get him at the peaks of the half pipe, and that's where you get the jump. But I've killed him there and I die because although I killed him, I didn't kill him quite quick enough and he spawned another cannonball. So that will be my one life because John died as well in the jungle level on his run. So I can't die again, otherwise that will probably be it. So tension is on now. So I have to do this boss again. And there's another problem with this boss, even when you do kill them. Because you're in this half pipe, if you fall off the screen you die. So once you've killed the boss, you have to jump to the right hand side, and there's a little drop in frames just as Dr. Robotnik disappears off the screen, and if you try and jump then, it won't register your jump. So again, be careful if you are attempting this yourself not to jump at that time, because the game just will forget that you pressed the button. So yeah, pretty good so far. On to Labyrinth Zone, not my strongest zone, although I did get a really good jump off that bit. And this is where I utilised John's trick that he taught me in his speedrun, where I actually roll, and I don't do it too well here unfortunately, but you gain speed again, and you can normally just drop straight down that hole there, and the timing, I found more often than not, allows you to get there just before the spikes come up. And the reason I jumped on that spike is if you just turn Sonic around at the last minute, you actually get hit by the spike but knocks you in the right direction, which I'll show you in a second on this bad guy up here. So if you turn your back, you don't have to wait for the bad guy to move past, you can just go straight on by. This is another trick I learnt from John. Yeah, Sonic has teleportation powers. If you keep Sonic inside the wall as the platform goes up, he doesn't get squashed, he actually gets teleported to the top, again saving you a whole bunch of time. So yeah, to make that work for yourself, just stand as far to the left of the rising platform as you can. It almost looks like Sonic's not standing on it sometimes, but that will then just take you into there. Just don't move, and then that will teleport you up through the platforms. Labyrinth Zone Act 2. To be honest, these levels and the next levels, Scrap Brain, they're not so challenging really. It's the last boss and the Sky Base Zone that I struggle with. I mean, you occasionally get when you can see the tops of the water there, you can see the game kind of chug along again. So you occasionally get something, but you could, because the Sonic is moving slower because he's underwater, you can generally recover. And as you can see there, I use the roll technique to get through the water a bit quicker. There's a technique I miss here, where you can turn your back on that spike and Sonic gets knocked back and lands on that TV rather than bursts it, which means you don't have to do the extra small jump. Because there's so many rings around, you can exploit Sonic's damage animation. As I didn't get here quite quick enough, I did not want to push dying and drowning underwater, so I had to stay for the bubble. But again, you can use that platform. As you can see, I'm barely standing on it, but if you just stand still, the platform will just take you right through the top. I kind of jump out of the water here to speed things up, and got to be careful these gargoyle heads as they spit fire at you. Really, once you've got good at the jungle levels, you can start enjoying speedrunning this game. It took a long time for me. I remember playing it and training on those levels and thinking, why am I doing this? I'm just ruining this game for myself. And because I was just getting so frustrated trying to fight my way through those jungle levels and then having to start all over again. But it does happen, it does get fun, it just takes a little trial and error. Some cool tactics on this boss. He shoots missiles out, and so long as you stay to the far left or far right, the missiles actually go off the screen, so you don't have to dodge them. But the best speedrunners in the world actually hit Robotnik in the middle there, but I could never get it to happen without dying, because if you touch the bottom, you die instantly. But I actually hit Robotnik 3 times on the left and twice on the right. The reason for that is if you look on the right, the wall sticks out a little bit more, meaning that you don't have too much room to get around that missile. But on the left here, the wall is a bit more covered. So as soon as Robotnik comes down, you see the second part of him glitch in. I take my first jump and then jump twice, keeping Sonic really far pressed to the left-hand wall, so I can dodge that missile. So that makes me kill this boss a lot faster as a result. Penguins. So as we move into the scrap brain zone, as long as you know your way around the scrap brain zones, these are actually quite easy. But I do love the music on these stages, they are really cool. But you jump a lot up those platforms, because any time Sonic goes up a hill, he comes to a crawl and then eventually stops. Nice jump here to hit the life to use the conveyor belts to get over there quicker. So jumping up platforms helps you get up the vertical inclines a lot faster. I missed the spring there, but you can land on that straight away. Hit that button to open the door. Roll down these hills to get down here quicker. Nice fun level, that one. Nice and easy after the jungle levels and the labyrinth zone slowing you down to get you back in the groove to carrying on. Scrap Range 2 is more of the same, really. I duck underneath the fire, so sometimes the fire is already spawned, sometimes it's not spawned yet. So if you duck underneath the fire, more often than not you avoid it completely. I use the conveyor belt to run to the far right and then just jump straight up. And here's another example of me ducking under the fire to avoid it. Take the top route, again jumping to get up here faster. And what I'm looking for at the moment, there's a button I need to press to open the door to the exit. So I have to come up this way. Keep nice and low so I don't hit the fire coming down from the ceilings. And there's another technique I learned from John's speedrun here, where I'll kill myself because it's faster to kill myself and go back to a checkpoint than it is actually to run back. So you just drop down on this pig. But I pressed down mistakenly on the controller and killed the enemy that's supposed to kill me, so I have to jump up and hit the pig that hurt me to begin with. So lost a few split seconds there, but nothing too much to worry about. Rail down here, make sure it comes to a stop so I don't overshoot it. Down to the lower level. There's a cool little technique here that I learned from John, where you can jump down here, wait a second, and then pull yourself back in to cut a load of time out. You can't fall to the very bottom here because they've made the corridors a lot narrower, and if you try that you'll end up at the very bottom and have to teleport all the way up and start all over again. So that's pretty much the only way to do that. Again, dodging the fire. You can jump there to get through the door a bit quicker, which rather than spring back. Again, only little tips to save like split seconds, but they do all add up for the end. Kind of forgot myself there for a second and hit the signpost at full speed, so as you can see it flies into the air. Not a huge difference to your time, but again, they all add up to getting your time down at the end. Act 3 doesn't actually have a boss, it's more of a maze that you have to navigate your way around, so once you've done it once you kind of know where you're going. But because I'm so used to collecting all the emeralds when I play this game, I still go the wrong way from time to time, like what I did there. But yeah, you have to memorize which of these directions you go from the spring. There's a button you have to avoid, which is now coming up, which you have to jump over, because if you press that button, that locks this door here. So once you know that, this is a breeze, really. And Robotnik runs away, and goes up on this lift, and wastes some of your time, because he knows you're doing a speed run, and he's a dick. So yeah, you just follow him up, and that's the end of the Scrap Brain Zone. Just smiling at you, knowing that he's wasted your time. I hate that guy. So Skybase, again, this level is very difficult to practice on because you have to do the whole game before you can actually practice on this level. Thankfully it's not too bad, and again you can exploit Sonic's damage animation to get past some stuff. I don't do it too much because at this point I'm worried that I know I've done quite well, and I don't want to die again because I've had my chance. But you can land on that bad guy there, look, and that means you don't have to wait for him. You can also roll more often and get past some of the lightning and underneath the cannons. But you really don't want to take too many risks here, especially if you fall off and hit the bottom of the stage. Again, it's an instant death. Pitfalls, man. Why, game developers? Why do you do it to us? But like jungle level, any successful run through that level is a welcome one. I get through there with little trouble, and if I do get hit, I still motor through. You just gotta be careful, because if you try and motor through too much and a bullet's waiting for you, you could die. So yeah, be careful of that. Skybase 2, there's a little bit of RNG they call it, which is random number generator, where you can't really help where those guns are going to start firing, and they're random every time. I don't get too bad of a go at this, but you can just jump straight over that tunnel and get straight to the end. That's actually quite a long level, but that little trick there allows you to bypass it all. But those cannons, you kind of have to be careful. If you jump too early and the cannon's pointing at Sonic's head, you will die. So you kind of have to take it a little bit slow just to make sure you know where that gunfire is aiming. This is it, last boss. Robotnik's basically standing in a glass container, and you have to hit him with, there's lightning and fireballs you have to dodge. There's actually a trick where you can hit him and jump into the container with him, but I could never get it to work consistently enough, and I can't afford a death right now. That would be awful. And no, it has gone too well for me to mess this up on the last boss. Come on, stop pressing about, Sonic. Robotnik, you bastard! Ah, look at that time. I'm so close. Don't die. Don't die. Okay. Come on. Oh shit. Ooh, okay. Come on. Break, you fucker. Why aren't you dead? Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, yes, come on. Oh fuck, come on. Yes! Get in. 21 minutes, 41 seconds. It was touch and go there for a second. I don't think I've ever made noises like that before. I didn't think I could make noises like that. But, yes. Sonic the Hedgehog for the Master System, speedrun complete. Whew. When you actually collect all the emeralds in this game, you use their power to get rid of the pollution, and it gets rid of the black cloud in the sky. And that's the thing. This speed run was fun in the end, but it almost made me hate this game and never want to play it because of the frustration. But when you get good, it's pretty cool. But still, when you're rushing past everything, you don't get a chance to enjoy everything the game has to offer, like the bonus stages and the collecting all the emeralds. So if I'm honest, I'll always prefer collecting everything rather than rushing through it.
So a new personal best of 21 minutes and 41 seconds, just beating John's score, and hopefully sharing some new tricks. John, I issue the challenge back to you, and see if you can smash my score and give me an excuse to give this another try. The best thing about top scores, definitely gives you a good reason to come back and play some great games. I made quite a few mistakes, so it really annoys me that I died on the jungle boss, but that just means there's plenty of room to improve on the time. With enough effort, I do think I can get a time of under 21 minutes, maybe even under 20. So maybe I'll come back and give it another try on personal best regardless. Thank you to John for setting this challenge. You can check out his channel on YouTube, just search for One Life Left, or see his streams on Twitch. He posts videos all the time. Hope you had fun, and maybe see you next time right here on Pop Culture Ball Screen.